Celebrating his former boss's wedding. On Sunday, he was looking for a win in the Steel City against the rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers, of course, coming off that 35-point loss against Buffalo last Sunday, worse in the Tomlin era. Opening drive, 3rd and 6, and that's no good, but neither is this. Devin White with the late shove. That's going to be roughing the passer. We're not going to ask him for his thoughts about that. No. So now, 7 plays later, Pickett to Najee Harris, running the wide open, nobody will touch you touchdown play, and the men of Steel are up 7-zip. Remember, no TJ Watt still, but the pass protection a problem against this defensive front all day for Tom Brady and the Bucs. Cam Hayward drops him. Bucs settle for a field goal in the red zone. They're down 7-6. Same score in the second. Alex Highsmith tearing it up. Yo! That one pops in the air, recovered by Chris Godwin. And Brady, look at the saliva count on this one. Can you back up, Tom? I don't mind you yelling, but keep it clean, brother. Bucs just 1-6 on 3rd down at that point. Brady 10 for 21 in the first half. Third quarter, Bucs are down 4. Brady looking for Russell Gage Jr., but who are you going to yell at for this? Oh, one hopper. That's not going to get it done. They settle for their 4th field goal of the day, and the Bucs are down 1. Steelers ensuing drive. Pickett, look at this. He gets rushed again. Somehow Deontay Johnson catches it. That was like a wounded Duck Hodges, if you will, and now here's a wounded Kenny Pickett. Left the game after getting nailed by Devin White, concussed and would not return. So here comes the return of Mitchell Trubisky to the huddle. Their opening day starter. What's he doing on 3rd and 6? Looking for Connor Hayward. You're like, wait, he plays offense too? This is Cam's brother. The rookie out of Michigan State rumbles down close to the 10-yard line after a 45-yard gain. Then 2 plays later, it's Trubisky to Chase Claypool. He had a big day. He gets into the end zone. And the Steelers extend their lead 20-12. Tampa's ensuing drive. 3rd and 4. Tom Brady, what you going to dial up? Cade Otton, 17 yards on that snag. First down inside the 40. 9 plays later, Brady looking for the guy who leads all running backs in receptions this year, Leonard Fournette. Excuse me, as he runs over Mark Gilbert, makes him a little roadkill. Bucs down 2. They're going to go for 2. That's what Mooch told me when we were watching the game. Chris Godwin looks like he had a shot, but Devin Bush with the nice turn away, so the attempt fails. So the Bucs need to stop down 2. Steelers push back to 3rd and 16. Trubisky, though, give the guy some credit. Hits Claypool, who had just 129 receiving yards coming into the game all season. He had 96 on Sunday. Now it's 3rd and 11. Can Brady get a stop? Trubisky, Claypool. Feet plus elbow equals W. That is a pretty pitch and catch for 27 yards. The Steelers snap a 4-game slide. Tampa falls to 3-3 after being held to 21 or fewer for the 5th time in 6 games.
We didn't earn it. We didn't earn the win. So it's a game of earning it, and it's a game of playing well and performing well, and we're just not doing a good job of that. I don't think we've done it for 6 weeks. And I think we're all playing less than what we're capable of, and we've all got to look at ourselves in the mirror and figure out why.
No, we didn't take them lightly, number one. Number two, I think guys that's living off the Super Bowl are living in a fantasy land, and you got to get your hands dirty and go to work like everybody else. And we've been working hard, and we got to work harder, because nobody's going to give us anything or feel sorry. So we got to go back as coaches, as players, and the time for talking is over. You either got to put up or shut up.
Aaron Rodgers looking to put up after they lost in London last week. Rodgers 10-0 following a loss in the LaFleur era, but taking on the mighty Jets, I'll tell you, man, this is a solid team. Look at them get after Rodgers and his bum thumb coming into this one. And then he gets dropped again. Are you kidding me? We're tied at 3 at the half because, what, A.J. Dillon screwed up the handoff. Jets recovered and kicked a field goal. And Rodgers continues to get decked by Quinnen Williams. That's a legal hit. He's out of the pocket, by the way. So, yeah, we're at 3-3, and LaFleur is having a little bit of it on the sideline. Third quarter, his brother, Mike LaFleur, the OC for the Jets, trying to dial up something special. We know that Zach Wilson, a huge Aaron Rodgers dude. Loves him. Trying to do a little bit of the Rodgers magic on his field. 41 yards on the pitch and catch to Corey Davis. Your next play, Braxton Berrios. Second straight week, he's running one in. Good block by C.J. Uzomah on the outside. He gets into the end zone. Jets are up 10-3. Ensuing Green Bay drive. Rodgers. Quinnen Williams is turning into a star, people. I'm serious. A serious star. His second sack of the game. Jets had 4 on the day. Next play, oh no! The Packers, remember, they got rid of their special teams coach because of what happened in the Niners playoff game a year ago. Michael Clemens with the swat, recovered by Will Parks. Parks wrecks and scores. And LaFleur is not loving it, but his old buddy Robert Saleh is, and saving receipts, by the way. Your next Packers possession, Rodgers to Allen Lazard. That's pretty work. Rodgers finished 26 of 41 for 246, getting into the end zone there. And I love the pylon cam. Good use, Fox. Packers are down 17-10. Fourth quarter, Breece Hall, 197 total yards last week, 121 on this day. This kid can do it. The rookies are contributing for not only the Jets, but also the Giants. You'll see that momentarily. Jets back up 2 scores, and he was smart, too. He's a smart rookie. He found the Jets fans on the Lambeau Leap. Rodgers, 4th and 14. This is going to do it. Yeesh. Jets with a huge win at Lambeau. Through 6 games, they're over 500 for the first time since 2015. You know what that means. It's cheese sauce time. Yeah, go celebrate, Rook. You earned it. He eventually had that swatted off. As for Aaron Rodgers, his team's 3-3. What's going on?
We got to be realistic about where we're at. We've played a couple subpar games, the last 2. So we got to play better. But wobbly, only if people are breaking rank. You know, I think it'll be interesting to look at the comments from all of our guys and coaches. And hopefully we stick together. That's the important thing. Not attacking anything. I just think that based on how we've played the last 2 weeks, I think it's going to be in our best interest to simplify things for everybody. Where nobody works harder than Matt on the plan each week, and nobody comes with better ideas than him and his staff. But if it's not working, it's not because those guys aren't grinding. It's because we're not executing. And if we think we have the right players, then we need to simplify things. If you don't, then that's a whole other conversation.
On to the team that beat Green Bay last week over in London, and even at 4-1, you kind of get the feeling the G-men have an awful lot to prove. Well, at least one man might. That is defensive coordinator Wink Martindale. After 10 years in Baltimore, the last 4 as its defensive coordinator, he was fired. Now, both parties, including John Harbaugh, said there's no hard feelings, but even the Ravens head coach admitted that he didn't know what to expect Sunday out of his good friend because, quote, he knows that we know that we know that he knows that he know that we know. I know that it's time for the highlights. Other than that, I'm just very confused about the coaches' relationship. All right, so what do we get to here? Lamar Jackson. Wink said, listen, he could beat us with his feet, his arm, and his brain. And here he beats him with Kenyon Drake. Busting it through for the 30-yard score. Giants, by the way, had 10 men on the field. I don't suggest doing that every defensive play. Baltimore's up 7-zip. Ensuing drive for the Giants. Big day for all the Giants rookies. On 3rd and 4, that's Wan'Dale Robinson. The second-round pick out of Kentucky ties this one at 7. Hit the fast-forward button onto the 4th Ravens, nursing a 3-point lead. I say his name every week, and I still think that Mark Andrews is underrated. He scores. Baltimore is up 20-10, but look at the play clock. Did it expire? Refs let it go, and Brian Daboll, your thoughts? I think he needs to be on the shady side of the field, or he is going to burn to a crisp out there. So the Ravens, they can't hang on to the double-digit lead. We've seen that several times this year. Wan'Dale Robinson at pick up a 17. This is a team that has, no receivers. So Daniel Jones hits his rookie tight end Daniel Bellinger, the 4th-round pick out of San Diego State, with his 3rd score of the year, and the G-men are back within 3. Next Baltimore drive. Lamar, 3rd and 1, trying to sneak it, but we have an illegal formation, so that's no good. It's back to 3rd and 6. Next play. Up, fumble. All right, Lamar, just fall in it, throw it away. Whatever you do, just don't throw it to the middle of the field, because that's what happens. Picked off by Julian Love. They are loving it in New York City, or at least in New Jersey where they play. Bad hands, bad snap, bad decision all around by the former league MVP. So what are the Giants going to do with this after forcing the turnover? Jones on 3rd and 3 as Lamar's not loving life. Looking for Slayton, but it's picked off by Marcus Peters. And we have a flag. Peters called for a little PI, holding, take your choice. It's a good call. So your next play, 1st and goal, Saquon, who leads the NFL in yards from scrimmage, adds another one. Giants are up 4 with under 2 to go. But here comes Lamar. And what happens? It's another Giants rookie, their first-round pick, Kayvon Thibodeau. His first career sack leads to another turnover. Giants take over. And they win this one. Ravens fall to 3-3. Giants 5-1, their best 6-game start since 2009. Do I see some tears of joy?
Man, go Big Blue, baby.
It's okay to be happy. You know, you can be happy being 5-1. It's hard to win this league. You can enjoy it, but at the end of the day, you know, you can't get too overconfident. You guys keep taking it week by week, keep falling in love with the process, and that's the mindset we're going to continue to have.
All right, here we go. The game of the day, a pair of 4-1 teams with that divisional round rematch from Kansas City a year ago where they actually changed the playoff overtime rules because Josh Allen never got to touch it. He did get to touch it here late in the game. Second quarter of a 3-0 Buffalo lead on 3rd and 10. Somehow Mahomes makes it stand up. Juju Smith-Schuster, who looks more like a tight end these days than a wide receiver, gets in for his first Chiefs touchdown, and namaste. It is 7-3. First touchdown given up by the Bills in the last 21 drives. Everybody talks about their offense. Their defense is sweet as well. As for Buffalo's offense, 4th and goal. Allen can't connect with Isaiah McKenzie, who looked like he tripped himself near the goal line. It was also a little bit behind him, and that's what happens. Chiefs take over on their own 3. Later on in this game, under 2 to go in the first half, Allen out of his own end zone. Look at that sling to Gabe Davis, who had such a huge game last year in the divisional round. 2 plays later, with under a minute to go in the first half, Allen to Stephon Diggs. Can you Diggs it? He gets it into Kansas City territory. Then 2 plays later, Allen to Davis. That's a 34-yard score. Hauls in his league-leading 3rd deep touchdown pass. That's at least an air pass of 20 yards. That's according to Next Gen Stats. I just got that. Ken Dorsey loving it. He's much less emotional these days. And how about a flashback to last year? You remember what this guy did with 13 ticks left in regulation? He got Kansas City into field goal range to help Harrison Butker send this into overtime, where the Chiefs won it on a Mahomes to Kelsey touchdown and advanced to the AFC title game. Well, once again, what are we going to do? Are we going to kick it deep this time like we did last year? Nah, we're just going to squib it with 16 seconds left. Oh, I see. Okay, so the Chiefs just take over inside their own 30. That's probably smart. 12 seconds left. Oh, no, wait a second. You're not going to tell me he's going to do it again. Come on. Jerick McKinnon out of the backfield. He's looking for that sideline. He makes a cut and gets it up near midfield, a gain of 19. Leslie Frazier's like, come on, dudes. Come on. Next play, Mahomes to Travis Kelce. One of his 8 snags for 108, and so it sets up Harrison Butker back after missing a month with a bad ankle from 62. You gotta be joking. That's a franchise record. The Bills are like, okay, we'll kick it deep. We'll kick a squib. It doesn't matter because that dude's nasty, and so too is Butker. On to the 3rd in a 10-10 game. Butker trying from 51 yards out. Well, 62 is no problem. So this one, of course, is going to be no good. He should have moved back like 11 yards. He would have been fine. So here come the Bills. Allen to Diggs, one of his 10 snags for 148. That's a 17-yard score, his 6th touchdown of the season, and Buffalo has reclaimed the lead 17-10. But here comes Kansas City. Boy, are we lucky to be watching these two go at it. Mahomes, Smith-Schuster, 5 for 113. That's a 41-yard gain, and 5 plays later, Mahomes looking for Mecole Hardman. Speedster doesn't have much room to operate here, but look at Mahomes just keeping the play alive. That's a 3-yard score, and we are tied as Josh Allen's thinking to himself, boy, is it going to be last man standing that wins? Fourth quarter, the Bills, 3rd and 1. Devin Singletary, who is actually the Bills' leading rusher, stuffed by Darius Harris. So 4th and 3, what are we doing? Bills are going for it. Sean McDermott's like, hey, come on, dude. I got Josh Allen back there. But he cannot connect with Diggs. It's a one-hopper. Chiefs take over near midfield. And here comes Mahomes. 25 of 40 for 338. Finds Kelsey. He's now tied with Tony Gonzalez for the second most 100-yard receiving games by a tight end. That's a gain of 19. Then Mahomes, oh, look who's a difference maker in the rivalry now. It's Von Miller. Working the up move and getting it done. So now in a 20-17 game, the Chiefs, with their field goal, have the lead, but 3rd and 1, Singletary, does he pick it up? After that much short. So what? Your quarterback's like 6'5". Good call. Push and a shove, and he's moving in. So 5 plays later with 2 and change to go, still at midfield, Allen. Diggs, that's a gain of 18. They're inside the Kansas City 30. Your next play with 2 to go. Allen, the longest play on the ground for either team. He did it again. When are y'all going to learn? The man is an Olympic hurdler on top of everything else. Justin Reed didn't get the memo. So Patrick's like, I will get this ball back, but am I going to be trailing or not? Well, don't forget, tonight on the WB, it's another episode of Dawson Knox. He scores his first touchdown of the season. The Bills lead 24-20 with 1:04 to go. So Josh Allen, Sean McDermott, the good news is Patrick Mahomes cannot help out and get a game-tying field goal because you're up 4. But Mahomes trying to, Teron Johnson. That's Taron Johnson. If we're scoring at home with the interception, Mahomes trying to keep a play alive, can't get it around Milano. Taron Johnson with the INT. The Bills win it. Afterward, our James Palmer with the future Hall of Famer, Von Miller.
Vaughn, you and I talked this week, and part of the reason you came to Buffalo is bring that championship mindset. What does this game do for where you guys want to be?
Man, we still going, man. It's a great team win. We knew it was going to be a tough one. We knew we was going to have to go all 60 minutes, if not 70 minutes. We just kept fighting. And the motto is don't blink. We didn't blink when we was down. We didn't blink when we was up. Great team win for the Bills.
One of the reasons they wanted to bring you in is in the divisional round, they only hit Patrick Mahomes 4 times. You hit him 9 times today. You had 2 sacks. What were you doing well as a group up front?
Man, that was just everybody up front, man. We just had fanatical effort. We just took what they would give us, just kept jabbing and jabbing. Whenever it was an opening for the haymaker, we took it, man. But that's a tough team that we went against. Offensive line, they blocked us up, pretty good. We just took what they gave us.
Do you move forward thinking you're going to see them again?
Yeah, we definitely going to see them again. This is not the end of the Mahomes and Allen era. It's just an honor and a privilege to be a part of it.
All right, go enjoy it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Giggle.
Love those 2 teams, but let's remember it's the Bengals that were the AFC representative in the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow back in New Orleans and wearing Jamar Chase's LSU championship jersey from the time they hooked up in 2019 to help the Bayou Bengals win it all. Now he's trying to help the Cincinnati Bengals get to 3-3. Here he just throws it away, but he got blasted by Demario Davis, one of the good guys in the league. But what are we doing, Demario? That is a penalty 9 times out of 9. I don't know why I just said 9 out of 9. Most people say 10 out of 10, but you understand. Well, here's why I said it, because it's a 9-yard touchdown toss to Joe Mixon, and we're tied at 7. It's a lot of numbers to remember in a small time frame. Second quarter, still 7-7. Andy Dalton, the former Bengal, still getting the start for the Saints and handing it to Rashid Shaheed. No joke, that's his name, Rashid Shaheed. The rookie from Weber State just called up from the practice squad, and apparently practice makes perfect. Saints are up 14-7. I know, Joe, you don't want to hear that. But the man who threw for 300 yards on this day runs for 19, and he gets into the end zone. Bengals down 6 at the break. Third quarter, Cincinnati now down 9. Haven't had a Jamar Chase sighting except for that jersey that Burrow wore to the game. Oh, there he is. Jamar, a pickup of 26, the kid that grew up in Metairie, Louisiana, just outside of New Orleans, had 7 for 132. And did I mention he was busy getting into the end zone? 15-yard score, and the Bengals are down 2. Oh, yeah. Bust it. Why not? Fourth quarter, Saints trying to nurse a 2-point lead. Bengals need a stop. It's the former Saint Trey Hendrickson, who had 8 official pressures of Dalton on this day, knocks it loose. It's an incompletion, and so the Saints are punting. Blake Gilkin, and it's not great when we show you this. Oh, Gilkin knew it. 29-yard punt. Bengals take over at their own 40 with 2 and change to go. Here comes Joe. Looking for Chase. Breaks the tackle of Bradley Roby. Gets into the end zone from 60 yards out, and it's 1, 2, 3, kick. Bengals fail on the 2-point conversion, but have a 4-point lead. Yeah, all those people are loving it, connected to that LSU family and the Bengals family. 3rd and 10, B.J. Hill, Sam Hubbard combined on the Dalton sandwich, forcing a 4th and long, and Dalton, one last shot to Marquez Callaway. No PI on this one, no flag, just an incompletion and a huge road win for the defending AFC champs as they get back to 3-3. And how about this? Jamar Chase with his 6th touchdown of at least 50 yards. Remember, he's 22. Unbelievable. The only guys with more that young in this league, Moss, Barkley, Deshaun Jackson. Oh, and MJD, by the way, he'll join me on Game Day Final tonight. Good for him. Not good for Kyle Shanahan and the banged-up Niners. They were on the road in Atlanta and struggling. Down 7-zip. Jeff Wilson Jr. has been so good, coughs it up. A.J. Terrell picks it up, and he loses it. But Jalen Hawkins right there. That's why you always follow it. Plus, you get to do the picture pose afterward with a defensive touchdown. That's always cool. So the Falcons are up 14-0. Kyle Shanahan's like, man, we're not healthy on either side of the ball, and we're not playing well. Second quarter, it's still 14-0, but Jimmy G actually did his thing in the first half. Swings it out to Brandon Ayuk. He gets in for the 12-yard score. I see it, poser. And then Garoppolo to Brandon Ayuk. This one from 14 yards out. We're tied at 14 in Dean Pease. A lot of former Ravens defensive coordinators getting airtime on Game Day highlights. San Francisco, as I said, without half of its defensive starters. Here, Marcus Mariota on 3rd and 13. They were the number 1 defense coming into this game. He gets a first down, picking up 15, and 5 plays later, just keeping himself. He's being selfish, which is actually a good thing for the Falcons here. First time all year, the Niners allowed more than 20 points in a single game, and they did it in the first half in the ATL. Third quarter, Atlanta up 7. Mariota, 13 of 14 for just $129 on the day. Efficient, at least. Hits Kyle Pitts, who's back from injury. His first touchdown stateside. Remember, he had one last year in London, and everybody's loving it in Atlanta, including this. No, don't. Oh gosh, I thought he was scaring me there for a second. And then how about this? We got a new 88 club. That's right. Michael, that's not for you. That's 2 8 jerseys for Kyle Pitts. Garoppolo looking for Charlie Warner, his tight end. Yeah. They were missing all day. Guys had some butterfingers out there offensively for San Francisco. Now in the fourth, Niners down a couple of scores, needing something to happen, and this ain't it. The old tip drill, Debo has it pop off his hands, and Jalen Hawkins, who had an enormous day. They forced 3 San Francisco turnovers with the old boing. Both these teams are now 3-3 after the Falcons double up the 49ers. Steve Wilks taking over for the fired Matt Rule. Panthers taking on the defending champs who have been struggling an awful lot. Sean McVay, his squad just 2-3. But how about this? Malcolm Brown, he gets a gain of a yard, but another Rams lineman goes down. Joseph Noteboom is out with an injured ankle. They've had 6 different starting lineups on that offensive line in 6 games. And Matthew Stafford keeps turning it over. That's Deontay Jackson with the pick 6. Stafford, what are we doing? Another pick 6? He's got more than anybody in the league since 2020. Now Stafford. This is more like it in a 10-10 game, hitting Cooper Kupp. 7 catches for 80 yards. So smooth. Your next play, Stafford. Allen Robinson. Where's he been? Okay, that's good. Get it in the middle of the field and gets it into the red zone. He had 5 snags for 63 yards. And then it's Ben Skoranek. The old end around. McVay getting tricky. Rams take a 17-10 lead. Now, here's the most interesting part of this game. Robbie Anderson and his receivers coach, Joe Daly, getting into it face-to-face on the sidelines. As Steve Wilkes said, hey, listen, we're going to run it the way I want to run it. So why don't you take the rest of the game off? Robbie, I'm serious. Get out. And he's also letting his position coach know. Joe Daly, you calm it down. This is just no good. So Anderson out after no catches on the day. As for Stafford, looking for Brandon Powell. That's a gain of 16. Stafford, 26 of 33 on the day. Did have that pick 6. 2 plays later, it's Darrell Henderson. Once again, no Cam Akers. Sounds like a divorce is coming your way between the Rams and Akers. He was not active today. First fourth quarter touchdown of the season for the defending Super Bowl champs. And then it's P.J. Walker who got the start, but unfortunately did not finish the game for Carolina. Sacked by Jalen Ramsey. Ruled out with a neck injury. He did pass concussion protocol, but that's no good there. So Jacob Eason looking across the middle. Christian McCaffrey, big day for him. 69 on the ground, 89 through the air, including 7 snags. And 4 plays later, Eason looking for Shi Smith. But no, it's tipped and picked by Nick Scott. And that is going to do it. Rams get back to 500 with a 14-point win. No Tua as the Minnesota Vikings came to town. Skylar Thompson, 7th-round pick out of K-State, making his first career start. Second quarter of a scoreless game, Thompson hit, and now he's got a bum thumb. Hit it on the helmet of Patrick Jones II, so his first NFL start, short-lived. That means Teddy Bridgewater, who was in concussion protocol because of what happened in last week's game, buckle it up. No injury designation at Friday's practice, so he is back. And by the way, it is steaming down there. Vikings sideline is 30 degrees hotter. Their offense, ice cold. Kirk Cousins getting pressured, getting sacked by Jalen Phillips. They had 15 total yards on their first 4 drives, and they're down 3-0 in the waning moments of the first half. This is the way you do it. Get it to JJ. Gets inside the 5 after one of his 6 snags. Your next play, Cuz to Irv Smith Jr., who had 4 catches for 7 total yards. Eesh. Under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Teddy B looking for Jalen Waddle, but it gets popped up in the air, picked. You will appreciate this on the replay. Harrison Smith and Eric Kendricks. It's the boing, boing, ding. Add in your own sound effects at home. Harrison Smith gets credit for the INT. Vikings tack on a field goal, lead at 10-3 at the break. Third quarter, Cousins looking to dump it off. JJ again. No. I don't know what's going on 3rd and 22. And Cousins is like, hey, Coach Kev, that's not working. I'm not hearing it right. We're not doing it right. This is the way you do it. Oh, yeah, a little wheel route to Jefferson. That's a gain of 47. Now on to the 4th. It's the same Vikings drive because they change hands. Those are the rules. Cousins to Adam Thielen. PAT no good, but the Vikings extend their lead to 16-3 after Thielen's second score of the year to Gritty. So Thompson's like, yeah, you see my thumb? It's wrapped. I can't do this. So Teddy Bridgewater, you hit Mike Gesicki. Let's give Mike Gesicki most improved Gritty. It's the MIG this year, right? Earlier this year, it looked like me doing the Gritty. And yeah, coach is like, you're right. That's good coaching. You have improved significantly in your individual Gritty drills. As for Bridgewater, 4th and 5. Tyreek Hill's leading the NFL in receiving yards after a huge day, 12 for 177, and Miami down 6, still has a shot. On 3rd and 15, Waddle. He moves the chains, and then oh gosh. The Dolphins receivers, they love the yak, and in this case, he threw the ball up. wasn't really stripped, just kind of lost control. Waddle with his second career lost fumble, and then he loses his temper. So the ensuing Vikings drive, can Miami get a stop? In a word, not so much. Let Dalvin cook. 53 yards for the score. Miami having trouble offensively without Tua. The Vikings, their best 6-game start since 2016.